Hey guys, how's it going? Tiger Croc here, and before I get started with this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications so you're alerted for my next video on YouTube. Leave a like and share this video with everyone and post a friendly comment. So in this video, I'm going to be doing a spoiler review on Scream 6 and talk about who killed who and what I ranked this film and what this film was about and more. But before I get started with this video, I want to apologize for the delay on this video, as for the last week, I've been extremely sick and I'm finally starting to feel a little bit better, enough to return to YouTube. You can probably still hear it in my voice that I'm a little bit sick, but I'm not nearly as bad as I was. But anyways, I'm back to return on YouTube, social media, to make more videos again. But anyways, let's get started with this video. So Scream 6 is about the survivors from the previous film moving to New York as they want a fresh start and are hoping since they moved they won't have any more Ghostfaces try to kill them. They also moved to New York so Tara could go to university. There are 5 killers in Scream 6, Jason and Greg, who wanted to finish Richie's plan, and the other 3 killers are Richie's dad, Bailey, and his sister Quinn, and his brother Ethan. And Richie's family's motive against the survivors of Ghostface was they wanted revenge on them for killing Richie, who was part of their family. The shrine in Scream 6 was built by Richie and his family, as they are hardcore Stab fans. Gail Weathers returns in this film but doesn't get along at first with Tara and Samantha, but eventually they get along better later in the film. The action and Ghostface phone calls were very brutal and badass in this movie for sure. Sidney Prescott was mentioned by Gail Weathers but didn't appear, unfortunately. Kirby Reed from Scream 4, obviously, as we know, returns in this movie, and she's working as an FBI agent, and she talks about all the 9 killers of the past. And at the end of the film, it was believed that Kirby was actually one of the killers until Bailey revealed it was him and his kids who were the real killers. The opening scene of Scream 6 was very brutal, showing Ghostface stabbing Laura, and showed Greg's body where he was decapitated, and showed Jason getting killed by being stabbed to death. The other new characters in this film was Annika, who was dating Mindy, and Samantha's therapist, who didn't help her out at all, unfortunately. After the events of Scream 5, Quinn made a fake claim on Sam that she was the actual killer in Scream 5, when that clearly was not true. All 5 killers did obviously die in this movie. The kills in this film were definitely the most brutal in the franchise, which was scary and cool to see, especially the opening scene. We did see Billy Loomis return as a ghost to talk to Samantha, trying to motivate her to become the next Ghostface. Chad gets way more injured in this film than he did in Scream 5 by getting stabbed so many times, but he does survive, which is good because he is a good guy. Chad was dating Tara in this film as well. Mindy also gets injured bad, but she survives. Mindy's a cool character. What I like about her is that she's good at detecting who the killers are, and she knows the way to survive horror films, and she's a good person. Out of the new cast from Scream 5 to now, for the girls, Samantha Carpenter is definitely my favorite, as she's the daughter of my favorite Ghostface, Billy Loomis, and because I can relate to her with having bad relationships and being framed for something I didn't do, and because she's the strongest female out of the characters in the Scream franchise. Tara is okay, but Sam is way better. Gail almost died in this film, which was sad because she got cut deep by glass, but thank God she survives. And like another cool thing in the movie is that we finally got to see Gail talk to Ghostface on the phone for the first time. Even Ghostface says in the movie this is long overdue, so that was a really cool scene as well. And she has a battle with Ghostface in this film. The soundtrack of the film was actually pretty cool too. Party scene in Scream 6 was actually pretty similar to Scream 5. It just had a little bit of a different vibe, I guess. Also, another epic thing in this film was when Quinn faked her death so she could get herself off the suspect list. This was a great callback to Scream 1 where Billy faked his death as well. What I enjoyed about Scream 6 was it wasn't easy to find out who the killers were, because at first the new cast seems innocent. I did get a couple predictions right. For example, I predicted Jason and Quinn are the killers, and I got that right, but my other predictions were wrong. The subway scene is where Mindy gets stabbed by Quinn, while the Ghostface that Sam saw on the subway wasn't a killer, it was just an innocent person in a Ghostface costume. The call of the Ghostface kind of happened in this film because in Scream 6 we got more killers than all the other previous films, which was interesting to see. The final battle took place in the shrine, as Tara's plan was to lure the killers into a trap and then execute them, which ended up working at the end. Anyways, that's what happened in this movie, and that was the whole plot. So now I'm going to talk about the negatives I had with this movie. There were only 2 of them. The 2 negatives I had with this movie is that unfortunately Stu Macher was not one of the killers in this movie, and the other negative I had in the movie was that it didn't really feel the same with Sidney Prescott not in the movie. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the positives of this film. The 5 killers were badass, and my favorite to least favorite out of the 5 killers is first Ethan, second Bailey, third Jason, fourth Greg, and then last Quinn. Now, I know in the past we have seen a Ghostface kill Ghostface, but the thing is that was part of Jill and Charlie's plan and also part of Mickey and Nancy's plan. Scream 6, I believe, was the first Scream film to show Ghostface hunting down and killing a Ghostface with like the other Ghostface not knowing about it. And of course with Jason not wanting to die. So that was cool to see, like, you know, Ghostface, you know, doing a Ghostface on a Ghostface. So many words of Ghostface, but like, you know what I mean, I'm pretty sure, guys. Overall, it was just cool to see, like, you know, two different pairs of ghost faces going at it with each other. The opening scene of Scream 6 was amazing. It's my third favorite opening scene in the Scream franchise. While Scream 1 is my favorite opening scene and Scream 3 is my second favorite opening, seeing Jason kill that hot girl was awesome, as she seemed bitchy, as she gave him a bad mark on his work and she wasn't attracted to him because, like, when you watch the opening scene, you can see that she's actually thinking it's a different looking guy, so perhaps she hurt Jason's feeling, probably called him ugly, which is sad, so that explains why he wanted to get revenge. And then, of course, you know, girls are fucking bitches to me nowadays as well, so I can relate to that. And she probably also did him dirty, like girls do me dirty as well. It was awesome seeing her die. So yeah, it was awesome seeing her die based off the experience that me and Jason have went through with girls. Jason is definitely one of my favorite killers. He's way stronger than Richie and the female ghost faces. Ethan was badass too. I can relate to him, as girls aren't into him and girls are nowadays are just mean to me. And seeing him kill that dirty slut Annika that looked like Amber, that was fucking awesome. I loved seeing her die because she was a bitch. Just because, like, you know, she reminds me of Amber. Ethan is definitely a better Ghostface than his brother Richie, and a stronger one too, and would definitely win to Richie. Quinn was not bad, she's definitely decent. What I liked about her is that she's the tallest and strongest and fastest female Ghostface, as she would definitely beat Amber or Jill in a fight to the death. I could also understand why she became the killer, as she loved her brother and her motive was to get revenge because she loved her brother, so that's more understandable, because obviously Richie and Amber's motive was just stupid. They just were killers basically for no reason. So she was decent. I also liked how they gave her no plot armor, as we didn't see her overpower someone stronger than her, because we only saw her, like, you know, stab Mindy, which injured Mindy. And like Gail's boyfriend, I don't know if she... And then Gail's boyfriend, when she killed him, it's not like she overpowered him, because again, she caught him off guard and slit his throat from behind, so that explains why, you know, he wasn't able to win there. So therefore, based off how Quinn killed him, that's not plot armor. Also, the trailers kept to their promise, as this Ghostface was definitely something different, as we saw him use a shotgun and wear masks of previous killers, and even place their masks by the victims they killed, which was very disturbing. I really liked seeing that. That was interesting. That was very interesting to do. The kills were much more brutal than Scream 5, as well as this film being longer too. Now, another positive of this film is it didn't confirm Stu dead, as when Kirby said the TV that killed Stu, Mindy replied saying, "If you really believe he's dead." Also, on the screen where Kirby shows the killers of the past, there's only a question mark on Stu and not the other killers, which means his status is currently unknown, but I still believe, you know, he was definitely in Scream 5 and killed Dewey, and he'll hopefully return in Scream 7. As well as Sidney Prescott, so we can hear Stu saying "surprise Sidney" one last time. The story of this film was well done too, and it was so cool to see a Scream film in New York instead of Woodsboro for the very first time. Since there's only 2 negatives with this movie, my final ranking for this film is 8 out of 10. It felt like an almost perfect movie. Very soon I'll make a ranking for all 14 killers and a theory video for Scream 7. Also, Sam's new boyfriend Danny, I'm glad he wasn't a killer, because they've done this way too many times where the boyfriend becomes the killer, and it's getting old and way too easy to predict. I'm glad it wasn't done in this movie. Also, let's talk about who killed who based off a video I saw and based off facts from the movie. So obviously we know Jason killed Laura because he took off his mask after he killed her. However, it was definitely Bailey who killed Greg and Jason, because Quinn and Ethan were seen at the party when Greg and Jason died, and it seems like only a cop would be able to do a kill that brutally where someone's head's off. I do believe Bailey killed Samantha's therapist, as Sam literally only gave Bailey the address, and soon after he gave Bailey the address, the therapist got killed. Also, Bailey killed the 2 men in the store too with the shotgun scene, because here's the thing, if Quinn or Ethan left the good character's side at their place, then obviously Chad and Mindy would have said something. Therefore, the only person who could have killed the guys in the store was obviously Bailey, because Ethan and Quinn were seen somewhere else at that time. And the fact that this Ghostface was able to dodge a shotgun and disarm it and hold it with one hand and shoot the guy, that's clearly the actions of someone who has fighting experience, and the actions of a cop, because cops are known to be able to disarm guns pretty easily and also dodge guns. So therefore, that was definitely Bailey, based off the technique. Also, this next one is debatable. Who killed Annika, Ethan or Bailey? But personally, I do think it was Ethan, because he seems the way he kills, he likes to, like, you know, smash things up and down, like shake things. Well, obviously, Bailey fights a little different. I do believe Bailey was somewhere else in that scene. But like at the same time, I know Ethan said that he was away, like at school when that killing happened, but he could have easily been lying there. So I do believe that he was the one that killed Annika, which I really enjoyed seeing that bitch die. And plus, like when he was chasing the people down in that scene, he seemed really faster than Bailey. So again, that's just further proof that it was Ethan. And for Gail getting attacked, it was obviously Quinn, because Ethan and Bailey were on the other side of town. It could have only been Quinn. And for the subway scene, it was Quinn who stabbed Mindy, as Ethan wasn't in the costume in that scene and Bailey was not on the subway. And it was obviously Ethan and Quinn who stabbed Chad and almost killed him. Kirby killed Ethan, while Samantha killed Bailey and Quinn. And the way she killed Bailey was stabbing him multiple times when he wasn't looking, then got him in the eye. And she killed Quinn by shooting her in the head. And then Kirby killed Ethan by throwing a TV on him, which stabbed him, I believe, in the face and throat with the glass of the TV. And of course, he was already injured before when Tara stabbed him in the throat with a big knife. But anyways, overall, this film was definitely different than the other 5 films, that's for sure. I did enjoy it. It's not perfect, but I do think it was a lot better than what I thought it was going to be, so I'm pretty happy. I really hope that they can make Scream 7 even better, and hopefully Stu is going to return in Scream 7, because I do believe that he was in Scream 5, because obviously it wasn't Amber, because she's not that tall, she's not that strong, she's fucking useless and weak, and she's the worst Ghostface ever. That's for sure. Hopefully Stu and Sydney return in Scream 7, but anyways, what are all your thoughts on Scream 6? Did you like how it was different from the other films? Did you like how the story was different? Did you like how the killers were different? Did you like everything about Scream 6? Because I personally did. The only issues I had is I wanted Stu to be in this movie, and I also wanted Sidney Prescott to be there, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But anyways, whatever your own opinions happen to be, let me know in the comments down below.